Well, it's late. It's raining. It's also freezing outside, so the raining's turned to ice. It's been a great day. Let's talk about it while I make comfort pizza. Because frankly, I'm kind of annoyed. I'm not gonna lie. So, it's been a bit of a day. Okay, so yes, it's raining, and that's annoying. Yeah, I don't like ice, but I'm actually more annoyed by something else today. And it didn't start out annoying. It started out as a perfectly reasonable request that I declined, right? No big deal. People ask you to do things and you say no. Not a big deal. So it's goose hunting season here. That's what's happening right now. And I don't begrudge that at all. People need to feed their families. We feed our family. I don't eat goose, so I don't go goose hunting. But if you eat goose, good for you. If you like hunting it, good for you. Don't have a problem with that at all. Wanted to get that clear right away. However, I have a very strict rule about my property. I do not allow armed strangers to walk around my property. Period. There are no exceptions to that rule. I do not know you. I do not know you. Okay? I do not know you. You're not allowed on the property with a weapon. Those are the rules. And they're perfectly reasonable rules. And it's my land. I make the rules. Why am I bringing this up? Well, that's a pretty darn good question. And I can answer it. Because today has been a bit of a day. So, earlier today, when it wasn't raining, it didn't start out raining. Earlier today, here comes Tristan. He's here to hang out. You didn't see him because he's off camera still, but he's in the kitchen. Good for him. Anyway, he's going to get his drink and his food, and he'll be perfectly happy with that. Okay, where was I? I am making pizza, by the way, while I talk. Make a pizza, because pizza is my comfort food. Also, it's Thursday. So, pizza always happens on a Thursday. Okay, so where was I? Right. I remember where I was. So, my property, my rules. I think most of us understand that. Okay? Most people get that. Most people are like, yeah, even if I don't like your rules, it's your property, your rules. Right? Yeah. Can we agree? Capiche. Okay. So, what happened today that's got me a little annoyed? This is important. Because today, this morning, I'm outside. There are hunters in the field, and that's no big deal. They're allowed over there, right? They're allowed. But in my yard, I have livestock. I have guard dogs. And they have their bird dogs, and their bird dogs look sweet enough to me. They're hunting dogs, doing their job. But no problem with them being over there. They're doing their thing. Shadowfax doesn't much like the sound, but he can suck it up because that's not his property. He doesn't get to decide what happens over there. So, however, I get to decide what happens here. So, hunters are doing their thing. No problem at all with that. Okay? No problem at all. They are free to do their thing. One of them asked if they would be able to retrieve birds off our property. If you're familiar with goose hunting, they fire at it in the air. It falls down. The bird dogs can go get it, or the hunter can go get it. So think about that for a minute. Think about it. If it's falling into my yard, where were they shooting? Right above me. That's a big no-no. First of all, it's not allowed. We have a house right here. You're not allowed to fire in this direction. Second of all, you're not allowed on my property without permission. And I do not allow people with weapons who I am not familiar with and do not know, and everything I've already talked about, on my land? So the answer is no, I prefer not. And I was very firm, actually. I didn't say I'd prefer not. I absolutely said no. I said, no, we do not allow that on our property. So I don't want the dogs on the property because we have guard dogs. It's not a safe mix. Okay. Right? It's not safe. Their dogs come running in here to grab what looks like one of their ducks, one of our dog's ducks. They don't know. That's not going to end well. So absolutely not, for their safety and ours. Okay? That's the answer. And that should be perfectly good enough. And they acted like it was. It was fine, right? It's fine. I'm like, yeah, no, you can't. They're like, all right, we'll make sure we don't. That's maybe 90 minutes later, not even, maybe an hour later. 90 minutes is probably a stretch. Felt like 90 minutes because I was cleaning the barn. But they couldn't see me because I was in the barn, cleaning the barn. I've been in there for a while, scraping down shelves and stuff. Because you gotta do that sometimes, right? You gotta do that. So I'm in there doing my thing. And what do I hear? I hear people. I'm home alone. So first I heard a shot, which is not uncommon. They're not that far off the property. Then I hear people in the bush. I hear dogs in the bush, and the dogs are in the barn with me. Well, Vodka is, Tequila's in the house. I hear rustling in the bush, and it's not Shadowfax, and it's people talking to each other, and it's 2 hunting dogs. I was not happy. I was not happy. So I come out of the barn. They did not know I was there. That became very, very obvious. And they're like, oh, well, one fell into your yard. Yeah, you're not supposed to shoot over our yard. The barn is not far from the house. They were shooting way too close to the house. They were shooting in the direction of the house. They're not allowed to do that. So I did not freak out. I wanted to, but I didn't. And I told them in no uncertain terms to get off my property and to take their dogs with them. And let me tell you, we are very lucky that Vodka listens to me. Because these are strange men, strange dogs on his property. And I will admit, I was a little bit nervous because they're men I don't know, right? Other than that brief interaction an hour before where they asked, and I said no. I had never met them before, never seen them before, don't know who they are, don't know their names, don't know where they live. I don't know. So they're lucky that Vodka listens to me because he was not happy. I told him to leash their dogs. They're like, oh, we don't know where it fell. I don't care. I don't care where it fell. I do not care where it fell. I don't care where the goose fell. Not my problem. Get off my property. Get your dogs, leash them right now, and get them off my property. The dogs weren't doing anything bad. I wasn't mad at the dogs. I was not mad at the dogs. That they are not the problem. Right? The dogs are just doing what they're told to do. They're like, we're going here, okay. Absolutely not. I was not happy. Now, in their defense, when I said I am going to release him, meaning Vodka, who was in his sit beside me, and he was not happy. He was doing that rumbly, deep growl, and I said I was going to release him, which meant release from his sit, because I had him in a sit. You're not moving until I say otherwise, and I'm going to release him because I do not feel safe. They're like, oh, well, we didn't mean anything. Stay off my property. If I catch you here again, I will call the cops. Our property is posted. They're not allowed on our property, and I had said no an hour earlier. I was very unhappy. And no, I have nothing against hunting. I have many friends who are hunters. I don't hunt because I don't eat any of the animals that populate our area. So I have alpha gal. I can't eat mammals, and I don't like ducks and geese. I don't like waterfowl. I like chicken and turkey. And I'm not going to go hunting wild turkey because I got turkeys and I got chickens in my yard. I don't have to go hunting chickens and turkeys. So I don't bother hunting because it would be a waste. I'm not a fan of hunting just to hunt. Hunting to feed your family? Absolutely admirable. Good job. Coming onto my property after I said no? Absolutely not. So let this be a little PSA. If you are a hunter, check your property lines. They obviously did because they asked. But check your property lines. Your dogs, even, should not be passing onto private property unless you have permission to occupy that property. Otherwise, keep them off there. If you can't keep your dogs from running into private property, you do not have control over your dogs. If I can control Vodka, a 165-pound Great Pyrenees who wanted to protect his family, if I could control him with just a word, you can control your hunting dogs. If you can't, then they need to return to school, which is your training, dog school. So, yeah, it was not fun. And if you're a property owner and you do not want people hunting on your property, that's valid. It's your property. You're allowed to make the rules. Make sure you're clear, though, if you're asked. Like, I was very clear. I could see if I wasn't clear that there might have been some confusion. But I was clear. They knew. They fessed up. They were like, oh, wow, we didn't know you were out here. Yeah. You didn't know I was in the barn. Not a good call. So I was as nice as I could be while still being incredibly firm and very irritated because I already said no. If they hadn't, this is going to sound, I have no idea how it's going to sound, but if they hadn't asked first, I would have been less annoyed, even though they should have asked first and they did a good job asking first. But they asked and then they ignored my answer. So if I hadn't asked, then at least I couldn't say, well, you knew you couldn't come here. So that was my morning. And I was here by myself. 2 strange men with dogs and guns on my property when I'd specifically said I do not want that to happen. I'm a woman home alone. No, thank you. Yes, I have the dogs, and nothing's going to happen to me because of the dogs. But no, strangers on my property with weaponry. Not happening. I have no problem with the hunting. They should hunt. They're feeding their families. Yay. I feed my family. Yay. We all feed our family in the best way we can. You don't feed your family by using my land after I said no. You don't discharge a firearm towards my house, which is what they did. It doesn't matter because they were at the back of the property, and if it fell, and it turned out it did fall behind the rabbit pens. If you're back there firing towards the rabbit pens, you're also firing towards the house. I have children. I have an elderly father. I have livestock. We do not shoot towards the house. And that's why I said, no, absolutely not. Because no matter where you are around our property, even if you're not on our property, if you're retrieving a bird from our property, you're facing the house. Because the house is kind of centrally located. You were facing the house. Someone could have been hurt. No. This was not about hunting. This video is not about hunting. This video is about me being annoyed about people trespassing in my yard with weaponry and dogs. And they should be thankful Vodka listens, because Vodka was not happy. Anyway, we're going to continue on making this pizza. I'm going to pop it on the cooker, and then we're going to go over there, and you're going to watch the time lapse of this cooking, because I had somebody ask if we could do that again. Absolutely we can. Absolutely we can. Just let me move the camera, and we'll get a good shot of the pizza, and then we'll time lapse it. So let's go over there. Okay, we are situated. Let's plug this in. Turn the dial. I'm going to do 16 minutes. Make sure we are on dual. There's lower, dual, and upper. We want to be on dual heat. So it's top and bottom. I'm going to walk away. We're going to time lapse because it'll be fun. I like time lapsing. So we'll be right back. Doesn't that look lovely? I think it does. Let's take it off the heat, and I'll see you over back at the counter. The ooeyest, gooeyest, beautifully handmade cheese. Mozzarella. Shredded to perfection. Just the right size. Oh, it's good. Oh, look at how gooey this cheese is. Very nice. Oh, and this crust, homemade pizza crust, perfect sauce made by my son. He's learned to make pizza sauce. It's so good. I'm very happy, especially after a stressful day. I am very happy with my pizza. Let me get a plate. Ooh, plate. Oh, look at this. So nice. Take a couple beautiful pieces. Every bit of that homemade. Oh, perfect. I'm really glad. So, hope you enjoyed making pizza with me and listening to me rant a little bit. Sometimes things have to be said, and sometimes you gotta say them. Anyway, that is going to be about it for us here tonight. I'm going to eat my pizza and go to bed. It's late. It's raining. The temperature's dropping. It's snowing. Ah, awesome. That's great. I'll see you tomorrow. Because, tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow's not today. That'd be good.